Happenstance or divine will? Now, I could talk about which is which and what is what and all of that kind of stuff, but I'd rather talk about how that affects you. What is your life like? How do you want your life to be? What do you want your life experience to be? Do you want your life to be like a leaf blowing in the wind by happenstance? Or do you want to be a co-creator with God? Do you want to work with divine will? As Gandhi said, do you want to be the change that you want to see? So that's what we're going to work with tonight, from the inside, from the energetic side. Good. Many of you listening to my recordings and watching the videos are well aware of my work by this point. So shall we just get to it and do it? Be comfortable. Be relaxed. There's no need to sit in any particular position unless it makes you comfortable. And just allow that to happen. Allow that to be. Breathe. Breathe through your nose if you can. Have the thought to activate your base chakra. That's the chakra that's below the feet, not on the bottom of each foot, but off the feet, not on the body. And now tell yourself, hey self, let's be in the center of the core of being. You don't need to know where that is or what that is, just choose to be there. That's where you're connected to Source, to God, to your Maker, with the least amount of distraction. It feels like an incredibly peaceful day when you're there. And it's there in the core of being. I didn't make that up. That wording comes from esoterica. That you have access to everything. Everything that ever is, was, and will be. So now let's choose to be in the I Am presence. Let's choose to be at the throne of God. Same thing. Let's choose to be in the beyond the beyond. Whichever wording works for you. It's all the same. And now let's take 3 relaxed deep breaths through our nose. If you can, if you can't, you can. That's okay. Relaxed is more important than deep. No huffing, no puffing, no sawing wood. And when you're done, just be back in the center of the core being. Every choice that you make, every choice, has a rippling effect. And it connects with everybody else's choice. It also connects in the moment, which you experience as the now. And right now, in the center of the core being, you're experiencing your choice to be there in the center of the core being, at that still point. breathe in this that I'm emanating to you now, this divine peace. Allow me to add in divine grace. And just breathe in the divine grace and the divine peace with each breath while you're just being there in the still point. Allow yourself to be aware. Allow yourself to be aware of the flow of the energy and notice how it moves. It's moving through time. It's moving through space. Existence is a series of now moments that we create by our choices of how we are in the world. Moment by moment by moment. So here in this center of the core being is the easiest place to create and co-create and be that change and start those ripples, create those positive ripples that with time and sufficient participation, maybe you can get a group of people together to do this, will snowball and make incredible changes on the planet. Maybe even lead to the awakening of all humanity. And you could choose to reinforce that moment by moment, every moment. Maybe you want to change the way your life is moving on a more personal level. Perhaps the flow of money into your life. Money is just another form of income. Money is just another form of energy. So it's very easy to work with here. And here in this space, just allow money in the form of energy to flow to you. The more stipulations you put on it, the more difficult it will be for the money to reach you, but it'll definitely reach you. But just be open to the flow of the money and allow it to come to you, and it will. Maybe you could have a conversation with somebody and it could open you up to an idea, and that idea could lead you to a whole different job or career. Perhaps you want to be here in this moment, in this center of the core being, and you take a look at a relationship that you're having with someone, and you'd like it to be better. And you can't really change the other person. That would be evil. That's usurping their free will choice. But you can change yourself. You can adapt yourself, and you don't even have to do a major change. All you have to do is change the way you react versus act to them. Accept them as they are. Release the need to be right. Release the need to have things go your way. Release the need to control. Perhaps you're in an abusive relationship, and you can bring more love into the relationship and see if that has an effect on the relationship. And if it does, I'm talking about divine love, and if it does, great. And if it doesn't, you really don't want to put yourself in harm's way. Not for the sake of yourself or anyone else. So you do need to take a look at that. But let's go beyond all that. Let's go beyond the issues that create tissues, or the other way around. The issues that they create tissues for. Let's go beyond the emotions, beyond the mentality. Let's go into the causal body and look at some of the issues there. And let's be in the flow and allow the divine will to come in, to choose to co-create, to change the course of your life. The purpose of your life is the result of the choices that you've made. It's just that simple. There are very, very few people that have come to this planet with a pre-written contract, so to speak. And there really are no contracts like that. There's always free will choice. So the time is now to act in allegiance to the impetus that has led each and every one of us to this incarnation. Let's do the work to break through the shells of the things in our lives that don't really matter and get to the core issues that do. The things that matter to you. To create the change that you want to change. To be that change. Perhaps you've noticed that the energy in the center of the core of being has been changing the whole while I've been talking. That would be very perceptive of you. And the energy has been subtly changing. It wasn't easy to perceive. So now I'd like you to breathe in yet a new energy. I'm radiating out this divine energy now. Please breathe it in. Breathe it in some more. Breathe it in some more. Breathe this in some more. Think about how you would like to serve in your life. Some people choose to serve the dark. Some people choose to serve the light. And some people choose to serve themselves. I chose to serve the light. So think about that for a moment. What does that mean to you? How will that affect you? How will that affect others? How will that affect the planet? Let's breathe in this energy. Let's breathe in this energy. And let's activate this energy. That means turn it on. Let's energize it. Means kick it out into an excited state, just like chemistry class. Let's amplify it, like turning up the stereo volume. And let's lock it in on our nodes in the center of the core being. And from that node, let's radiate this energy out to the entire planet. So the entire planet can feel this peace. So we can create this wave, this ripple that will emanate and move through time and space, creating in this moment a new existence, creating in this very moment a peaceful change. It's not hard to do, is it? How does it feel to do it? Good, good, good. The key here is to reinforce this. Reinforce your choice moment by moment, every moment. To allow these energies to ripple through your entire crystalline structure, this shell, this body system in which you live. You are consciousness. You are immortal. And you're living in this shell that's 55 feet in diameter, 16.7 meters. That's a 5-story building. Each and every one of us is huge. So, now call in the energy that you want. Ask for the energy that's going to help you be the change that you want. Let's do that now. Make this a personal change, something that you want to change in your life. And I'm radiating out supportive energy to help you with this, regardless of your choice. calls to the dark will not be supported through this technique. So know that you're safe. Breathe it in, breathe it in, breathe it in. Activate, energize, amplify, lock it in on your node. And now allow this energy to expand throughout your electromagnetic body. This is the body that has all of the chakras, marma points, nadis, all the meridians. And as you practice this, you don't have to think about all the steps. We're still learning how to hold the paper and hold the pen while we're learning how to write. You don't have to think about all that now when you create something on paper, if anybody uses that anymore. If you're watching the video, you'll see that my eyes are closed because I'm inside and I'm focusing. And I'm radiating out this energy to assist you in your choice, regardless of your choice. That's my choice. Now from our electromagnetic body, when the subatomic particles that keep shifting between between mass and energy and mass, back and forth and back and forth, that whole E equals MC squared thing. When these subatomic particles are in their energetic phase, they'll pick up this vibration, and then they'll carry this vibration back into the mass. And if you allow it, it'll take about 4 seconds, and every atom in your body will begin to vibrate with your choice, creating that ripple that we're talking about, creating that vibration that will emanate from your essence, from your body system. Please allow it now. And by the way, this is a process that you can repeat. So if you thought of something the first time you're going through this, and oh, I forgot to do this, well, go through it again. I want everyone to be successful. I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to be joyous. And I think it would be great. I would love it if people would choose, if everyone would choose to serve the light. Good. You might physically feel this in your body now. Allow it to radiate further into the emotional body. All the layers, sub-layers, interconnected layers. The personality layers are part of the emotional body. The personality is something that we create. We create it to protect ourselves. We create it to get ourselves ahead, to get ourselves more noticed. for many different reasons. That's how we affect our personalities. But it's all part of the emotional body. Allow this energy in, and it will go in. It's all free will choice. You have to choose it and allow it. And now from the emotional body, let's expand it into the mental body. And you can allow yourself to start becoming aware of these different bodies. Again, all the different layers and sub-layers and interconnected layers. And now the next body out is the causal body. And there are other tapes that I've created that talk about the causal body and what's in the causal body. I sneak the information into these experiential energy sessions. I think the energy session is more important than the. We need to be the change. Good. Now from the causal body, let's go further out into the astral body. And the astral body is the one that seems the most like the physical body. Just fill it up with this energy completely. And then into the next body out from there, the etheric body. And the bodies are more subtle and they're all energy. Well, not all energy, but the energy goes through them much quicker. So now we're in the etheric body. And this is the last body of what I refer to as the inner bodies. Now we go to the advanced bodies. The first one is referred to as the Christ body. Some people call it the Buddhic body. Doesn't matter to me what you call it. It's the one that has that dodecahedron shape. It exists in 12 dimensions. Inside it is the Merkaba in 12 dimensions, and it rotates along 3 different axes at 3 different rates of speed. Just information. Doesn't help you very much, does it? Let's let the energy in, because that does help you. And now let the energy expand even further into the light body. And again, I've spoken about this body, other teachers have spoken about these bodies. Let's just do the work. Let's allow this energy to help wake us up, to become more useful as human beings on this planet, to become more awake, more aware. And from the light body, let's expand further into the next body out, the radiant body. Now, if you start getting a little headachy, that's okay. If it feels like there's a rotary saw blade going through your head, piercing through your skull, that's okay too. Because other people will perceive that as a halo. When you master your radiant body, others will readily see a halo around you. Another sign that you're on your path of enlightenment. And now let's let this energy, this Shakti, expand to the last body in this system, the ascension body. This is for personal ascension as opposed to the ascension of humanity or the planet as in an ascended being or an ascended master. And you'll feel very different kinds of pulses and undulations in your skin when you start working with your ascension body. Which is kind of a neat thing, but many people have observed this. So I just thought I'd point it out. Great. Good thing. That's a great thing. So now that we've done this, let's do some work with it. What change would you like to see on the planet? Planet-wide, what change would you like to be? No more waste, no more poisoning of the food and the water and the air. Peace. No more war, no more need for war, no more paranoia amongst peoples. Whatever you is, just choose something for the moment. What's your biggest issue? There's no wrong answer. And sit with that in the center of the core being for a moment. And see if some knowingness comes to you. as to what a resolution would be. If so, focus on the resolution. If not, imagine the world without that situation. Don't focus on the bad. Don't focus on the lack. Don't focus on that stuff because we don't want to attract it. Imagine a peaceful society on the planet. People sharing, loving, helping one another. Whatever your version, either small in a microcosm of society or on a larger scale, whatever your vision is, whatever you would like to attract. And we're going to create the Shakti of it to build and snowball and create these positive ripples again. And we're going to have these ripples emanate out. And by doing this more and more often, so that there's sufficient participation, we can bring it into manifestation. Oh, don't go there. Don't think that, oh, that'll never happen. So clear your palette of your brain, clear the palette of the mind, and be in the center of the core being. Maybe you don't know what you want. Ask God what God would want. And co-create with God according to God's divine will. And help God create what God wants created. Lots of examples of that going around throughout our history and even nowadays. You might just be there in the center of the core being and say, God, use me. Send me a thought or send me the Shakti to help bring about wonderful, peaceful change on this planet. Help me be that change right now. And allow this change to ripple out through me to the rest of humanity. So whatever you've chosen to do, your plan, God's plan, breathe in that Shakti now. Breathe it in strongly. You're in sacred space in the center of the core being. You're co-creating with the Creator himself, the Creator itself. Breathe it in, activate, energize it, amplify it, lock it in on your node. And maybe you don't know whether it needs to go out to the grid of the planet or it needs to go out to the grid of humanity. Then just allow the Shakti, which is intelligent, by the way, allow it to go out where it knows it needs to do and where it knows it needs to go to accomplish the change so that you can be this change. And you're not forcing the change on anyone. If you send energy to somebody in this way, they have the right to accept it or reject it. You're not forcing anything on anyone. You're not usurping their free will choice. You're not evil. Go ahead. Do it now. Good, good, good. And remember, the change lies with you. It lies with each and every one of us. Please repeat this as often as you can. Please participate in this fully. Allow your heart to open. Allow yourself to share this energy outwards. The more energy you share out, the more energy comes in. There's no lack of energy. And something I've never done before, I'm going to radiate out a darshan, a gift, a blessing. In this energy session for you. If you want it, all you have to do is accept it and allow it. Hmm. Hmm. Thank you. Thank you so very, very much. Until next time we get together. Namaste. God bless.